Okay, you know the feeling, right? Doors are opening any minute, the band's on stage, and the stage manager's giving you that look. You've got 10 minutes, if you're lucky, to make a whole band sound amazing. It is super high pressure, but it's totally doable. So let's break down how to absolutely master that rapid-fire live sound check.
And this, right here, is the absolute truth you just have to accept. That perfect hour-long sound check, that's a luxury. It's not the norm. This is all about survival, about being a pro when the clock is ticking like a time bomb. We're going to go from total chaos to complete control, starting right now.
So the very first thing we have to do, and this is the most important, it doesn't involve touching a single fader or knob. It's all in your head. It's a mindset shift. If you're going to win a 10-minute sound check, your main goal can't be chasing that perfect tone. It has to be getting a clear working balance.
And this kind of says it all, doesn't it? On the left, that's the trap we all fall into. You spend 8 of your 10 minutes getting the most amazing kick drum sound ever, and then you have 0 time for the vocals. That's a recipe for a terrible show. But on the right, that's the pro move, getting everything audible, making sure every instrument has its own little pocket of space. You can always fine-tune the tone during the first song, but you can't fix a fundamentally bad balance once the show starts.
Let's get really specific about what balance even means. It's not just about turning things up or down. It's about clarity. It's about separation. Can you actually hear the bass line, or is it just a muddy mess with the kick drum? Are the lead vocals sitting right on top, or are they getting buried by the guitars? If the crowd can pick out every single part, you've achieved balance. That is your mission.
All right, so our head's in the right place. We're focused on balance. Now we need a system, right? A step-by-step workflow that you can repeat every single time that builds the mix from the bottom up without wasting a single precious second. And that's what we call the priority instrument pyramid. Here's the game plan, the order you do things. First, you lay down the foundation of the whole song. That's the drums. Then you bring in the glue that holds it all together, the bass, and you lock it in with that foundation. Once the rhythm section feels solid, you bring in the single most important part of the song, the vocals. And only then, once all that is sitting right, do you start filling in the gaps with the other instruments. You know, the guitars, the keys, all the color.
And you gotta be systematic, even with that very first step. Don't just ask the drummer to play the whole kit. No, just ask for the kick, then the snare. Get those two working together, punching through. That's the heartbeat of the entire track. Once that relationship feels good and solid, then you can quickly bring up the hi-hats, the toms, the overheads. Seriously, in about 2 minutes, your whole foundation is built.
But here's the thing. You can have the best workflow in the world, but it's totally useless if you can't get the musicians on stage to give you what you need. And that brings us to the next big piece of the puzzle, communication. It's every bit as important as your technical skills. So, think about it for a second. What's that one thing that always seems to screw up a quick sound check? What makes everything confusing and just eats up all your time? Is it a broken cable? Is the room really echoey? Yeah, those are problems for sure, but they're not the #1 cause.
It's this. This is the killer. Vague communication. You know, yelling out, "Hey guitar, can I hear something?" when there are 2 guitar players on stage. Or just shouting play without saying what you need to hear. This is the single biggest time waster, and the best part is, it's completely avoidable. So this is your new cheat sheet. You gotta be direct, use their names, tell them exactly what you need. John, just the kick drum for me, please. Sarah, can you play that lead line from the chorus? And ask for just one thing at a time. Otherwise, everyone starts playing at once and you get chaos. This isn't about being bossy or rude. It's about being a clear, efficient leader. And trust me, every musician on that stage will appreciate it. Okay, so we've got the right mindset, we've got our step-by-step workflow, and we know how to communicate clearly. Now, let's put it all together into one simple template you can basically stick in your back pocket and use every single time you're under the gun.
And there it is. This is it. This is your entire game plan. Priority number 1, drums. Get that foundation rock solid. Number 2, bass. Lock it in with the kick. Number 3, vocals. Make them the absolute undeniable star of the show. And then finally, number 4, all the other instruments. Blend them, tuck them in, and fit them around that vocal. Burn this into your brain. This is how you build a professional sounding mix in just a few minutes.
So, you have the template, you've got the communication tools. The last piece of the puzzle is actually using it. Before the next gig, before the chaos even starts, who are you going to talk to? The stage manager? The band leader? Who are you going to tell, hey, I've got a fast, efficient plan to get this done? Because turning this knowledge into real-world action, well, that's what separates the amateurs from the pros.